Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today I'm playing in Circus, and I think that's called Circus, right? Circus, I don't know. But today I'm playing against the Hellion team, and I'm playing with a Dodge team. And Shep, why are you playing with a Dodge team? I know you hate your Dodge teams. Well, I figured since I've been dodging my YouTube uploads recently, I might as well play a Dodge team, right? Yeah. My motivation has been a little bit down to make Butcher Circus videos because I've been awfully busy with other things. But here we go again, I'm trying to get back into it. Maybe having some new challenges, maybe doing new things will spice it up for me again. At least that is the plan, that is the hope, that is the dream. But in terms of how this match is going right now, this is a very odd team I'm playing against. This looks almost like a support musketeer. Yeah, ranging shot, okay, it's gonna be accuracy and anti-stress? What? I mean, I guess the accuracy is very helpful because I have 55 dodge, I have 45 dodge, 65. This is with the extra the extra dodge from round 1, of course, but yeah, I do have a ton of dodge, and I am hoping to make it work. I think in this situation I just go Circus on Hellion. She could very well resist it because of the treated bandage, but thankfully she doesn't. And this team, I've played with it before. I tried it like 3 days in a row or something when I was going through my dodge phase. And it's definitely a funny team to play because it felt like I was getting super unlucky. It felt like I was extremely just having a horrible time, but at the end of the match and at the end of the day I'd still win, so I'm praying that it's gonna be like that again. Oh, that is very good though. Dodging the vendetta. What was the accuracy on that? He had 135 accuracy, he had 135 accuracy into my 50 dodge, so he missed an 85% hit chance, and I get a crit regen for the stress heal. Oh brother, I already know this one's gonna go down. Yeah, this is not looking too good for my opponent. Of course, I haven't really done anything to them, apart from, I guess, like, one, how do you call it, one Circus, but still, this does not look too good for my opponent. In this situation, I actually want to drop a puncture on this musketeer. It's probably not going to work. Oh, it does. The reason I want to drop this puncture is because if she moves back, then I just did a little bit of damage and I reposition myself, so it's perfectly okay for me. If she bolas and she has to, or buckshots, if she has to buckshot into her past, which isn't too good. If she just stays in position 2, then I get to freely harvest and not have to worry about that vendetta buff to her past. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm just gonna drop a harvest with my battle ballad buff, and I get to just bleed and blight this midline that my opponent has, and also just enjoy myself. And look at the amount of dodge I have. The least amount of dodge I have is on the repulse character, so, you know, who cares. Of course, the Hellion doesn't really care about repulse because she's just spamming that terrifying Yelp, and sadly I don't have a flagellum to, like, just punish her and to make Yelp pretty much do nothing, but I also don't have an abomination to push her, so this is like one of the better teams to play Hellion into, I guess. Of course, the first time I do decide to hit into the repulse, it's immediately a crit for 21, but I mean, that's just a given at this point, right? If you play against Hireman and he drops the Vendetta, you already know that the repulse is gonna crit you and take probably more than half your health bar. It doesn't matter though, I should be fine. They don't have a lot of reach to the backline. I guess they do have Holy Lance, but they kind of just jiffed themselves out of using that Holy Lance. I could just drop the finale here. Ah, but is that really the move? Is that really the move, just dropping the finale? I honestly don't think that would be too wise here. I think it would be smarter for me to just drop and expose. 4 to 7 damage, how about this? 3 to 6 damage. Well, neither of them are ideal, but I'll do this one. Maybe I get to pull again. Yes, I do. I'm just bullying her into position 1. I don't think dropping the finale there is just too wise because they probably won't be able to heal her if I just keep dropping harvests and punctures and all that. She's pretty much gonna have a terrible time, and I don't have to drop the finale to get a kill. I'd rather just get the finale on the second character and pretty much just make sure that I get to win on the spot, but but these duelist advances are making that, the duelist advances and the repulse are making it a little bit more difficult for me, but I don't mind. I'm just gonna do this and enjoy myself, right? Surely they don't get another massive hit on there. They actually... What? What is the point of that? Why do they preemptive heal there? I don't understand. They could be going so aggressive. They could have gone for a Holy Lance on my Antiquarian, with their extra 20 accuracy from the ranging shot, by the way. And after doing that, if they had dealt enough damage, I would pretty much have to guard. I would have to do a forced guard, because they get to go first next round and could potentially just get to death with the Holy Lance or something of the likes. But they just decided against it, and they're just preemptively healing the Hellion, which, I mean... okay, I guess it pays off because I miss an 87% hit chance. Well, I suppose there is justice in this world for me dodging the Vendetta. And now they decide to go for a heal on the Musketeer. Oh, you're really making me want to finale that. Oh, you're really making me want to finale that, but I still think it's not a great idea. I still think it's not too wise. You know what I'm gonna do, actually? Watch this. I'm going to pull the Crusader, because I wouldn't... Ah, it fails, of course. Oh, he does have the Glorious Standard, so he has extra move resistance. Yeah, it fails, so he's pretty much able to just keep spamming Yop with the Hellion if he wants to. And what I would be mostly concerned about is something like a Wicked Hack crit, making life difficult for me, but they just voluntarily put their Musketeer down to 0 HP, so I think I can get away with the Festering Vapors here. Even if there's a crit repulse, it won't crit me for enough, so I should be fine to just drop the Festering Vapors. But Shep, your best death blow chance is the Dirk Stab, with an extra 10%. Well, yes, but I'd rather leave it for last, I'll just go for the AoEs first. I might want to Dirk Stab it to someone else, for example. I might want to save that move, or I might want to go for a Harvest instead. I actually really don't want to go into a Harvest here, because I'd probably die if I do that. So that's maybe not the smartest move. I might actually miss, despite the battle ballad. I might actually miss this Musketeer. I'm just gonna go for the Retribution though. There's no doubt about it. I've already tried getting a kill on her 3 times, but the first one missed an 87, and then I failed a 25 out of 40. But I'm praying that, for starters, I do more than 6 damage on the riposte, and I am also praying that I get to 65, and thankfully I do. Now the problem I have is that I've pretty much dealt 0 damage to the other 3 characters on my opponent's side, and they have Bulwark of Light on the Rot, so I am pretty much not able to use my Jester to what he should be used, which is getting those juicy finales. He's not doing that much damage right now, despite having all those damage buffs on him. He's sadly not doing enough. I think in this situation, I just regen, I try to hunker down, maybe use my riposte a little bit more, and with my dodge, maybe getting the Shieldbreaker back into position, I start dropping Adder's Kisses and just pray that the Crusader isn't enough sustain. Also with the regen, I'm able to just, you know, safely be safe here if I really want to. And I think I do quite want to. I'm going to drop a Defender on him, and now you have no good targets. You might be able to bypass Stealth with your Higher Man, but, I mean, ignore Stealth, my bad. You might be able to do that, but you can't ignore the Prot. I mean, you can't ignore the Guard just yet. You can do it if you Grape Shot, but we're not quite in Grape Shot range at the moment. If I drop a Greedy Expose here, I might get a death blow. 4 to 7, how many damage buffs do I have? That would be 16 to 29 damage, but against a Prot it's probably going to be something more like 13 to 22. But that should be enough. That should be enough. Also with the Expose, there's a very decent chance that I just get the crit, and I would absolutely love to get the crit on there. But this should be enough damage. I also have Death Star Recovery, but 13 to 23, almost. I almost said the correct value. Of course, I nearly min-roll, but it was just enough. It was a very calculated risk going for that Expose. Of course, I had a crit for it, as expected, but finally that little rat in position 3 goes down. And now it's just the Hellion and the Crusader. The Crusader does have Holy Lance, but I mean, I have regen, so who cares? And, oh, okay, no, not a Virtue chance yet. The Antiquarian is the only one with a Virtue chance. I go Paranoid, though, so I'm going to stun the other characters now. I absolutely love stunning other characters. And also reducing my damage by 25%. That is, in fact, my favorite activity. They can Zealous me here, but they have absolutely no accuracy. I am not expecting a hit on my Shieldbreaker whatsoever. No, I actually dodge. I say I wasn't expecting a hit, but when I say something like that, you should expect a hit to come down. But thankfully, not in this case. So I get to just freely drop a regen, go Retribution, go Dirk Stab, and I should have this one in the bag. I'm not entirely sure though if I do have it in the bag. I'm also not sure who I should focus down, but probably the Crusader, even though he has a bit more prot. I should have enough DOT between my Hemlock and the Shield Breaker to just attrition him down to 0. And after that he might be able to just keep using Rally to the Flame, and with the Yobs maybe my opponent can still take this, but I find it really difficult that they're still gonna, you know, burst through an Antiquarian with 40 dodge and a Shieldbreaker with 60 while they don't even have a Battle Loud or anything of the likes. It would be very difficult for them to pull it off. I'm actually thinking, believe it or not, of moving back with my Man-at-Arms. Or, you know, I guess he just does it on his own, so thank you, Paranoid, actually being a good affliction for once. 99% of the time it's either going to hit another character, it's going to do something stupid like Retribution into a corpse, or it's, or, you know, it's just gonna do a stupid action like guarding the Jester in this situation, but not this time, not this one, not today. I actually did really well, moved me back, and now, as you can see, like, this dodge team is just... it's nice. It doesn't do too well into some teams, like, you know, the flagellant teams of Reign of Sorrows, like Sheperd. It's probably not going to do too well, because while the DOT is reasonably good, it's not good enough that it's going to kill the team really quickly, and you don't have enough dodge to deal with stuff like double command buffs or battle ballad. If there's battle ballad on the enemy team, you can try and prevent it with your shield breaker. You can just go for a puncture on the Jester if you go first, or if your opponent is really greedy / dumb, they don't actually go for the, what do you call it, for the battle ballad. If they get to go first, you're able to just prevent it with a puncture. But if you go against the Man-at-Arms, even if you focus him down with like Adder's Kiss and I guess Harvest, it's still gonna take you at least until round 3 to finally get the kill on him, just the natural way. You definitely don't want to drop Finale on that, but yeah, it is not the easiest thing to take down a team like that. Oh, I'm dazed here, which actually makes it borderline impossible for me to get the kill here, unless I get a really good damage roll. 1 to 2, and of course I get the 1, as expected. Can you imagine me getting a 2 on a 1 to 2 when I really need it? I don't really need it here. This match should be fine. I'm just trying to finish it off desperately. If my opponent had a Virtue chance, maybe they'd still be able to win this, but honestly they haven't done anything to my team in ages. I guess I've taken like 250 stress total. I mean, plus the stress on the Jester right now. Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess that's 3 afflictions now. But before that, yup, they had pretty much dealt the amount of stress like 1 Abomination Transform would do. Pretty much that amount of stress. Okay, maybe more than that, but 36 with 36. Yeah, they had dealt to the Man-at-Arms pretty much what that would do, and I guess you could just ignore the stress on the other characters. Maybe count those as crits or something of the likes. But I'm full HP regardless, so I'm just chilling here. I'm being chilling. I suppose I'll just bellow, maybe get some stress through, and let's just pray that I do enough damage to the Crusader here, because as weird as it looks, my opponent can still win this. I know it looks really stupid, but Crusader is just ridiculously broken. Yeah, he's just gonna keep healing for a decent amount. I went Masochistic, so that's not minus damage. This should... He's like, God, just oof me already. 4 to 7. Okay, I might get the death blow this turn. I might actually get the death blow this time around, so I'm gonna go for it. And yeah, the stress, it keeps stacking up. But I get to go for the Expose, that's gonna be an affliction. They don't have Virtue Trance, and then Festering hopefully gets to 25, and I can move on to another match. They go abusive. Oh, I want to see him stun the Hellion now. I want to see him stun the Hellion for not surrendering. That would be justice. That would be so much justice. Yeah, it's just Festering Vapor's time. He lives! He lives! How the hell does he live? He should have died like 5 rounds ago, but this is what really feels kind of sad about these DOT teams, is that they just don't have the oomph. Or, I mean, the DOT teams do, but the dodge teams don't have the oomph to just, like, mow characters down as other teams would. And that feels kind of annoying to play when you're actually just trying to win over and over and over again. But, you know, there's going to be another yelp here. It's still not enough to cause me a heart attack. Yeah, not even close. Okay, it is kind of close. It is kind of close. But not there yet. I'm just going to Retribution here, and it's going to be Death Sword check and the Death Sword check, and then the Hellion definitely can't 1v4. So let's skip along to the end. Well, he actually survived the 2 Death Sword checks, but I'm praying that after, you know, after he heals again. Thankfully he's not getting crit heals, but after he heals again, I go for another Dark Snap. Thankfully I went Masochistic, which is probably the best thing I could have gotten on my Jester. But now I'm gonna have 2 heart attacks. Can I still lose this? Yeah, I could actually still lose this because I failed his death blows. That's gonna be at least 1. Okay, that's 2 heart attacks. And if the Paranoid does something dumb, this could be... yeah, this could be quite tragic. I'm going to click here though. I do have the regen. I do have the regen on my side. And he goes for the Bellows, so I'm probably not going to get the death blow this time around. And the Hellion goes Paranoid, which shouldn't really impact too much in this situation. She's not using her damage moves. She gets a little bit of dodge from it, but it shouldn't matter because I do have Battle Ballad. I guess here I go for the Festering Vapors. I could use regen. That's true, I could use regen, and that would prevent Yob from getting like 2 death blows, but it can't do it anymore because my opponent goes first and then you just go Yob and get at least 1 kill on there. So instead I'm just gonna do this and get rid of that Crusader. And hopefully get rid of that Crusader. It's not a guaranteed chance, it's only a 70. I know I love those 70s. Okay, he's almost a goner. And there we go, he's finally gone. That should maybe do extra stress. No, it doesn't, but it's going to be a yelp here onto the Jester. He's going to be gone. Do they still have healing? Yeah, they still have 3 heals. Oh, no, it's going to be Breakthrough. That Breakthrough means that my Jester lives, just barely. Oh, there was only Stress Act out onto the Shieldbreaker actually. That was really clutch. I could just drop Rejuvenation Vapors here, and these characters can't actually say no to to regen. That is just hard coded into the game. No matter how paranoid or how masochistic you are, you just can't say no to Rejuvenating Vapors and to Reclaim, so that's really good for me. And I'm able to just click here, and now my characters stay alive. Tries to guard, I think. Instead guards the Antiquarian. Okay, but now there's no way that this Hellion wins because I've already dropped the regens. She can drop a Wicked Hack to get 1 kill, but then there's no way she wins 1v2 against the other characters. So now, let's skip along to the end. And there we go, the Hellion finally dies to the 3rd Death Sword check, and let's go straight into a match number 2. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 2. This time it's against a veteran player which had 3 dots as their name in the loading in screen, but they have nothing as I load into the match, so that's probably like some different alphabet. And they're using the best beginner team, so this should be a pretty good matchup for me. And I wonder, should I Battle Ballad or should I Puncture? Both the moves are good. Both the moves are really good. I also have to get rid of the... it's a difficult call, but I'm actually going to Battle Ballad here. I feel like not having command buffs, dropping the Ballad is a lot better for me. Even though I could disrupt the doggy, there's a really decent chance I go for Puncture and it misses, or... oh, that's bad. Okay, I thought my opponent was going to be doing some good stuff, but that is not what you should be doing in this situation. That is 100% not what you should be doing in a situation like this. It might still work. It might definitely still work. I pray that it doesn't, because my opponent should not be rewarded for just mindlessly bellowing instead of using their Abomination to transform and push my Man-at-Arms, their Abomination to transform and push my Shieldbreaker, their Man-at-Arms to command buff so they can actually hit my team, their Crusader to drop the Bulwark before any damage comes through, you know, just stuff of the likes. At least they should have dropped the command buff. But, you know, I guess I just wanted to reduce my damage a little bit. I decided to go for the Retribution there. Maybe I should have gone for the Adder's Kiss instead. And, you know, I will live to regret it, I guess. I could... Rejuvenation Vapors won't save me here, so I guess I could just Serpent Sweep forward. That's generally not a terrible idea. As weird as it looks, I don't think Puncture here would help me all that much, because I might disrupt the Doggy, but I mean, I don't really disrupt anything. He still harries, and the Abomination still Bile, so I'm not really disrupting too much. So I'm just gonna do this, give myself a little bit of dodge, just pray that I don't get hit with too many stress moves, and just start the Pestering spam. Sadly, I don't have Materia Pestis. If I had Materia Pestis, this match would be a GG on the spot. But since I don't have it, I'm gonna have to pray that I resist some of those Bellow debuffs, and I get to just use Festering for a bit longer than I usually would. Of course, my opponent uses their 94 accuracy ability to hit my 65 dodge Shieldbreaker, so they went for, what was that, a 29 hit chance, and they got it. Yeah, just lovely, isn't it? I guess I'm just going to drop the bolster here to deal with that horror. I could have gone for a puncture with my Shieldbreaker just to make sure that the Abomination drops the Respile under a pass, but I decided against it. But my opponent doesn't decide to bile immediately. I guess they're just in doubt, because they really are bellowing it out. Yeah, it is what they're doing. They want to bellow it out. This time I am going to pull the Doggy, because he's already in a kind of a rough spot. I guess the damage debuffs are making it so my Mana Arms Riposte tickles, but it's not the Mana Arms Riposte that's really going to kill you here. It's everything else, so you know, it is kind of odd. They go with 0 accuracy, just the net, into another slam, this time against 75 dodge Shieldbreaker, so I am very happy that I did drop the, that I did drop the Serpent Sway on her. So now I'm just gonna drop a Harvest. You should be going down to 0. Oh, it's not enough, it's so close, but no cigar. The Doggy isn't dropping just yet, but they're taking a lot of damage, and that's what matters. I also haven't taken that much stress, because sadly my opponent is using the best beginner team, and they still have the beginner trinkets, which is fine. Most of these trinkets are perfectly okay, like on the Mana Arms, perfectly fine, Doggy, perfectly fine, but the Abomination really wants that Wretch's Cloak, and he sadly doesn't have it. I'm really surprised they went down Zeri into that riposte. I would not have done that. But Shep, you always say go aggressive with your Harry, so if you have a command buff, then yeah, sure, do it. But not in this situation, not when your hit chances are literally like 40, 20, 70 with a riposte, and then like a 50. Yeah, you should not harry in that situation if you think you're just going to die immediately. But oh well, what can I do about it, right? I can drop a Dirk Stab, that's what I can do about it. The reason I drop a Dirk Stab and not just drop as you know, just an Adder's Kiss immediately or something of the likes, is because I still want to have this riposte up to deal with that Abomination. Yeah, my opponent really is mindless, just cluelessly bellowing into my team over and over and over again. Not really doing that much stress, because they have Numbing Incense and not like Pit Fighter's Helm or Carnival Mask or anything of the like, so they're actually really not doing all that much. But the reason I went for the Dirk Stab first is because I would like some damage on that Abomination, and also because now I can still drop the Adder's Kiss and keep my Man at Arms in position 2/3, so I can just safely chill. They hit into my Shieldbreaker with 75 dodge, and of course I go Masochistic, which is probably the worst thing I could have gotten. Maybe even worse than Abusive. The damage here could have been useful, I guess, but you know, no justice. No justice, I suppose. I'm going to drop a Retribution here. One of the damage debuffs should go away now. Yes, it does, so my riposte might start doing a tiny touch more than a tickle here. How much damage does it have? It has minus 35% damage against my base damage, which is 6 to 13, means that my riposte should be doing like 4 to 10, which, yeah, it kind of sucks. But it has a bleed on top, so it doesn't suck as much as you'd think, I guess. Well, we're gonna drop another Festering Vapors here. It's gonna be more duty against my opponent's side. Sadly, I don't get it on that A-bomb. He's been surviving against the duty onslaught, despite having the Rotting Trophy. You have Rotting Trophy and you're not applying Bile. That's so crazy. That is so crazy. And they bellow again. It's just, you go first, you bellow, and they're veteran rank, so this must have been working, right? This must have been working. This clueless, mindless strategy has to have been working. And yeah, I guess because of this, no, I can still drop the finale, thankfully, but if it was not too far off that I wouldn't be able to drop it safely, but now there's no more Abomination. Of course, I'll go Afflicted really soon with my Jester, but the Crusader is also dropping, and it's pretty much just GG for my opponent. And I mean, let's be honest, this was pretty much an unwinnable match because I'm playing a DOT team into their stress team, but they could have won this if they played their cards right. They could have won this. They had a chance, but they definitely fumbled it by going for some very questionable decisions. The thing is, they could collapse on me by just going command buff and then just going absolutely crazy with zealous crits and slam into bile. They could have made my life really, really difficult here, but they didn't. I have one affliction by round 4, which is really underwhelming for a stress team like the one my opponent is using, and I have pretty much 3 kills by round 4, which is a really good amount of kills to have on a defensive DOT team like this. I mean, not overly defensive, there's teams that are more defensive than this one. But yeah, this one is definitely not an offensive one. I mean, just look at the trinkets. Dodge, 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 regen, and this one is sort of defense, sort of offense. You can count retribution. I mean, you can count repulse as both defense and offense. That's what's so actually decent about it. I do 3 to 5 damage. Wow, I actually do enough. Would you look at that? And now I should hopefully just be able to get the kill on the Crusader, and then as good as the enemy man-at-arms is, and as many bellows he wants to spam, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one through. He definitely did good. I mean, he did 5 bells in a row pretty much. He started belling round 1, he started round 2 belling, round 3 belling, round 4 belling. This round he had to heal first before the bellows, and I bet my opponent is going to blame the defeat on that. The fact that they had to, the fact that they had to not drop the bell immediately is gonna be the one to blame. And of course I'm getting immediate passes, so here comes the not so novice RNG, but I go for the festering vapor. Still not a death blow. The Crusader lives on, he endures, but I'm gonna drop another Derek 7. Yeah, now he's gone. But imagine this, imagine that Abomination already had Regis Cloak, and imagine he transformed twice. That would be an extra 36 horror onto each character I have. If you add a little bit more because of trinkets like Monkey Spaw, if you add a little bit more because of them being at Death's Door or having Death's Door recovery debuffs or being like the Jester, all these characters would be pretty much at the breaking point if you count like one Harry crit. That would also come from using those command buffs, so you can definitely see that this matchup could be close. It could be, but it wasn't, so I'm just going to skip along to the end. Well, 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 it would appear that a buffoon is flummoxed as my Antiquarian goes powerful, so she's definitely going to be doing more than 0 damage with her Festering Vapors, right? Clueless. You already know she's going to be doing 0 damage. Even though she went powerful, I still think she's going to be doing 0 damage, even though there's only 30 prot. If they apply the spell debuff, I will bet my left kidney? Do you have a left and a right kidney, or are they like... No, that doesn't make sense. Left and right kidney. Are they like above each other? Are they like hugging one another? Do you even have 2 kidneys? I think you do. I think you have 2 kidneys. I'm not an anatomical genius, but yeah, I still do 1 damage. So okay, yeah, the bell debuff didn't apply, so the bet didn't apply regardless. So let's just forget about that little event, and let's just keep hammering away at this man-at-arms with my crits for 0. Yay! I'm buffing my team for accuracy. Surely that will make a difference against the 1 dodge MAA. Yeah, I guess I am stressing him out a little bit, so you know, that's decent. I'm just gonna keep doing this, and yeah, he's already dropping down to 0, so now it's gonna be really close. But you can see, like, this was, if I had not gotten the Virtue there, and if there had just been a little bit more stress, maybe the Man-at-Arms was a bit more aggressive, he had Carnival Mask instead. If he had Carnival Mask, let's do the math, he would be doing an extra 2 stress per each character he hits. He would be hitting more characters, so in total of these 8 rounds, he would have dealt plus 8 stress per round, so he would have dealt an extra 64 stress because of that Carnival Mask. at least 64 stress, because you'd also get the extra 4 accuracy. So if you wanna make the math like that, definitely do. It is quite an interesting thought experiment. I imagine this retribution is going to be doing 0, so honestly I'm not even going to bother with it. Oh, even the Dirk stab does 0. Look at these paranoid dumbasses. But okay, yeah, he doesn't even do it. Of course. Puncture, nope, not yet. It's gonna go to round 9. Of course it is gonna go to round 9. This man-at-arms just doesn't want to go down. He's gonna go for the bell here. He's finally gonna get a heart attack on my side. It's just... Can you die already? That's what I'm trying to say here. Both teams, can you die already? But yeah, I still go for the death blow here. Look at the survival rates on those characters. Jesus. Yeah, this is what comes with not having a death blow character. Usually your anti-Karna DOT team is gonna have like Materia Pass's finisher, and you might even sacrifice Protect Me for Nervous Stab so you do damage without needing a powerful Virtue. That's what you can usually do, but finally the death blow goes through, despite me being a Test and with a damage debuff, but I guess it was still enough. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Definitely feel free to drop some suggestions in the comments below. I'm sorry for the little break in uploads, but I think I should be back now in full force. At least I hope so. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.